Welcome to Beyond Basics.
Hi, I'm Maria, and in today's video we are going to be looking at TrueBend, which is a free plugin in SketchUp. So we're going to be using just a few examples here just to illustrate TrueBend. You will firstly notice that they're all along the red axis, and that's really important to keep in mind when you're using TrueBend. Otherwise, the actual plugin won't work. So to get TrueBend, you'll need to go to your extension warehouse and you're going to type in the search bar TrueBend as one word. And that'll pop up. And then all you do is you just click on here and then you'll get the prompt to install. I've already got mine installed, but once that pops up, just go yes, and then you'll see that it will it will pop up over here on your toolbar. Now, if it's not up in your toolbar section, you can just right click and then find TrueBend down here and tick it. Okay, so it's fairly simple. The way it works is, first of all, it has to be a group. It can't be loose geometry when you are working with TrueBend. So the easiest thing I'll show you first is we'll just click over here on this first object. Now we've got this selected, then we're going to click on TrueBend. And you'll notice that all these little red squares pop up. It's also asking for an angle down here. You can either type the angle, or all you do is you go to this middle one here, you left click and hold and pull it around, and you can see the degrees. Now if you release and then you think, okay, I need to change this, all you need to do is come in here and type your number. So let's say 200 and go enter. If you're still not happy with that, you can just keep changing it until you are happy. So let's say we do 180, enter, and then enter again, and there you have it. So you just basically bend the object according to the degrees. I'm just going to undo that, and I'm also going to show you what you can do with changing segments. So it's not just using it to change the angle to curve the object, and you can actually change the segment. So I'm going to use TrueBend again. Now if I right click on here, you'll see you've got segmented and soften smooth segments. I always leave those ticked. So if I then start moving that, and I look down here to the right where it says angle, say I wanted to have it there, then all I do to change the segments is I type the number with an S after it. So I'm just going to make it really obvious and make it quite small so that you can see this is going to be quite jagged. So I'll type, for example, 5S, enter, and you'll notice that now it's become quite sharp over here. The larger the segment, the smoother it'll be. But just be careful, if you make it too big, the geometry then may cause a bug splat. I've had a few bug splats today. I don't know what's going on with TrueBend, but that's just something to keep in mind. So let's just type in. So even when you zoom in and you orbit, it'll disappear as I'm holding my scroll button, but it'll come back so that we can get a better view. Let's just type in another number. So let's say we do 30 and go enter. You'll notice that it's actually changed the shape. So if I go to 80, enter, you'll notice that it's actually changing now the degrees. It's not actually changing the segment anymore. And the reason why we know that is we can see down in the bottom it's right. However, if we want to change, now I'm going to change it back to, say, let's just make it a bit bigger. So 280, enter. I'm going to change the segment. So I'm going to type in, obviously over here you can see it's 280, and when you hover over it, it gives you a bit of information. It gives you the angle, the radius, as well as the bend. So it's telling us it's 902 millimeters in total. I don't want it to be this jagged, so I'm going to change it. So I'm going to go 80S, enter, and you'll notice, and enter again, you'll notice that it's a lot smoother. But once you enter, then you'll notice that the prompt down here disappears. You don't have the option to do any more there. So let's just get out of that. Now, to be sure that you're going to deselect everything, we don't have a lot in this model. Control T or Command T if you are, or sorry, Control Shift A if you're a Mac user. So to deselect everything on your screen. Let's go over here to these stairs. Now this is one whole group, and you can tell up here in the entity info. So same thing again, if we want to use TrueBend, we get the little red squares. Also, just a reminder, it must be on the red axis. So I'm just going to hold and drag. Now, if I say, for example, drag it out, you can drag it to a full 360 degrees. So I'm just going to orbit around, because when I'm looking over here, it's quite, it's not smooth. So again, I'm going to use the segments. So I'm going to change the segments. Say I'll go to, say 30S, enter. You'll notice that it's changed. So even when I orbit, it'll disappear, but as long as I don't put enter again, I can keep changing it. Let's just really increase it. Let's do something like 80S, enter. And you'll notice now that the dots are a lot closer, and you can see down here in the grid, because it is closer, it's going to be a lot smoother. But keep in mind that there may be a risk of bug splats if you keep increasing the segments. Let's just hit enter, and there we go. And you can take a closer look here. You can see this is quite smooth, and we actually bent these stairs here to make them spiral, and we bent the degrees at 360. So then the last one here, I've actually brought this in from 3D Warehouse. I just typed in park bench. So you can actually also bend things from 3D Warehouse as long as they are a group or a component and are along the red axis. So we click on this, I'm going to click on TrueBend, we get the little red dots, and we can either type, we can start pulling it, oops, let's just type a number, say I'm going to go 90, enter. Well, that didn't bend it too much, but that's okay. I want to keep it there. Now, I don't think with segments it's going to work because we've got a preset component, but you can try it if you like. So say we go 100S, enter. It probably is not going to do much because it's already smooth from the beginning, but you could try that and see how you go. So I'm just going to do again Control T or Command Shift A to deselect if you are a Mac user. So if you found this helpful, leave a comment and let us know what you think.